Can't stop me, I'm unbeatable, I'm unbeatable, I'm unbeatable.
Couple minutes not a score. Every time they wanna clash, the winners kicking through the door. I am unbeatable. Chances running out of stop, and we're running out the clock. I fail once, never stop. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah.
Welcome to the British Basketball League YouTube channel and to our viewers watching on Fubo in North America. Tonight's matchup sees the trophy champions Cheshire Phoenix travel to the southwest of England to take on the Bristol Flyers. It may be 1-0 to the Flyers in this series so far this season, but the Phoenix are red hot. They're on an 8-game winning streak. Seeing if they can make it 9 in a row is Tahir Hajat and Ant Rowe.
You heard the lady Jeanette. Can they make it 9-0? The trophy champions, the Cheshire Phoenix. They've travelled down to the southwest to take on the Bristol Flyers at the Wise Arena. My name is Tahir Hajat and I am joined by Anthony Rowe for today's British Basketball League Championship action. Boy, do we have a great game to finish off the day, Rowe. We're excited for this one.
We do, and it's really clustered in this league table, and there's a scrap out for the fight in for the top spots. Cheshire Phoenix, who have just coming off that trophy win, they're currently second, but if the win today could separate them from the chasing Caledonia, then you've got Bristol Flyers there looking to get up into that top 5, top 4 spot.
Well, let's take a look if they can do that with today's starting 5. Starting with the Bristol Flyers, though, the home team. This is how they line up. Captain Raf Thomas Edwards, Tevin Ollison, Tajon Lucas, Keedy Johnson, and the double-double machine, Brad Green, will start for the Flyers. And for their opponents today, the Cheshire Phoenix, the trophy champions, 9-0. Can it happen? Skylar White, LaQuincy Rideau, number 20, EJ Stevens, number 52, Cam Holden, and number 21, Aaron Wright. Let's take a quick look at their individual talent. Let's talk about Tevin.
Well, it's the sharpshooter from Memphis, Tennessee. Second year back with the Bristol Flyers. Last year averaged 10 points per game, but he's come back this year with a vengeance, averaging 15 points a game. He's on fire. Earlier this year against Cheshire, he had 23 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. So the Bristol Flyers are going to look for him to do a lot of that today.
On the opponent's team, a man who has so much game, it makes a grown man cry. It's Aaron Wright.
The go-to guy, and a big reason for Phoenix's success this season. He's the 3rd leading scorer in the league, 18 points per game. But more importantly, he's on red hot fire. 28 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists off 60% shooting in that win against the Newcastle Eagles.
Head coach Andreas Kapoulas needs wins to climb the table. Coach Ben Thomas wants to stay 9 or 8-0 and make it 9-0 to keep the Cheshire Phoenix unbeaten since the trophy. It's time for a quick break. We'll be back with you with tip-off very, very shortly. Welcome to British Basketball League Championship action, live on Fubo in North America, live on the British Basketball League YouTube channel and on Twitch and TikTok. It is game time, it is showtime. The Bristol Flyers taking on the Cheshire Phoenix, and tip-off means that this game is underway with the Bristol Flyers winning the tip. It's the second time these two teams have played this season, and we're about to find out if it stays 1-0 or if it gets tied up in the series. Remember, those fans who are watching the British Basketball League for the first time, these two teams will play against each other in the championship 4 times in total. My name is Tahir Haja. Alongside my co-commentator today is Anthony Rowe. Well, we're looking forward to see these two teams go head-to-head. As at the beginning of the season, you looked at their rosters, you looked at their recruitment, and both teams recruited well. And as we can see, they perform well this season, with Bristol having the added spice of European basketball.
Yeah, really interesting matchup here, and two teams as well that would have had high expectations coming into this season. And as you say, to hear, they've both seen successes already this year, but in different forms. Bristol Flyers have been excellent in European competition, still fighting away there as they go to the knockout stages. And we all know the dramatic endings and dominance that Cheshire Phoenix had in the trophy final this year, and the only British Basketball League team with a piece of silverware so far this year.
Stacked with talent, both teams, and an offensive foul called. In fact, an unsportsmanlike foul called there by Eddie Adansky on the Quincy Rideau as he extends the elbow into the defender. And he is looking with a little confusion now. He's standing on the baseline as if he wants the ball. Let's take a look at this. Yeah.
It was high, wasn't it? High elbow.
Yeah, almost in the throat of the defense. I don't think he intended that. But off the initial play where he took a little knock and he just kind of shook it off, it seemed like that's how he was retaliating to the no call. And now 2 shots as a result of the unsportsmanlike foul. Coach Ben Thomas not happy with that. That's not how he wants to start the game.
No, and what puts them in a vulnerable position now, the Quincy Rideau, he leads the league in steals. In my opinion, he's the best defensive player this year, and what that does now, it hinders him to an extent. He's a guy that likes to gamble, meaning that he's anticipating passes, he'll reach, he'll steal, and what that does, if you pick up a second foul, that means that he has to spend extended minutes on the bench because coach won't be wanting to pick up his 3rd foul before half-time, so that could change the dynamics of this game as well.
Trophy MVP, we'll see how he fares today as Tejon Lucas knocks down those first 2 free throws of the game, and it will stay with the Bristol Flyers on the baseline if it's kicked out of bounds.
That was a tackle too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Right, really got behind that ball, followed through.
Here's Green. Up top with Lucas, looking inside, Raph Thomas Edwards back to basket. He's double teamed in the paint. Rotation, the triple, the rebound. Ollison, we need to talk about Tevin, and he can't make that 3. Here comes Aaron Ryan pushing forward.
Wow, you really expect Tevin Ollison to finish that as the Quincy Rideau now picks up a turnover as he travels the basketball. So a bit of a suspect start from him in this game.
Then these teams settling in nice and slowly, as long as they put on a good show for us. Brother Rowe, I do not mind, not one bit. We're looking forward to how this game will finish up. There's the pass from Ollison. Turnover now from the Bristol Flyers. Green mishandles it.
A really scrappy start here, as you said, T. It's both of these teams trying to settle into this game, and you hope it's sooner rather than later.
Holden threatened to shoot the 3. Aaron Ryan will go to the basket, and in fact, a carry violation, as believed, has been called. Of course, for those fans new to the game, that means when you put your hand underneath the ball, see if we can get that here, and then lift it back up on top for your dribble.
It's a good call.
Yeah, it counts as a double dribble, essentially. Ollison crosses over, trying to find Thomas in the corner. Intercepted now. Stevens for 3. Cheshire yet to put any points on the board. We're 2.5 minutes in. Ollison, baseline, reverse for 2.
Great move there from Ollison. And he's always going to get that first step because he's such a deadly shooter. Defenders have to honor that. Fake or jab step. Gives him so much space there. Good finish.
Well, look, a timeout call here quickly by Ben Thomas. I mean, the score's not particularly dangerous. It's only 4-0, but as you said, real scrappy start to this game. A few turnovers, not really flowing. Cheshire don't seem like they're getting into their offense. Maybe a refresher about what their game plan is.
No, a really bad start for both teams. It's just who's worse than the other at this moment in time. And let's get a little listed into Ben Thomas here and see what he's instructed.
Apologies if you heard any offensive language there, but Coach Ben Thomas is saying when the play breaks down, we need to be a little smarter and decisive. Go for a pick and roll action, set a drag screen, but don't just, when the play finishes, just stay static or try and force an opportunity. Be smart, make a good decision.
Yeah, and sometimes that happens too. You're waiting for your teammate to step up and deliver, but all the while everyone's waiting for something to happen. So sometimes you've got to be proactive with it, and that's what Ben Thomas says there. And you said it to here: be decisive. You know, if you're going to do something, go at it 100%, because at the moment it's very tentative.
Oh well, that's not very decisive from EJ Stevens. He fumbles possession, drive to the rack. Tevin Ollison bursting through the door, but LaQuincy Rideau will pick it up into the hands of Skylar White. This is it, the play's broken down. What's going to come next?
LaQuincy Rideau just saved the basket there. Unbelievable steal there.
3-ball from the corner. Nice rebound there for EJ Stevens on the offensive glass. These are the top 2 teams in the league for rebounds as well.
Yeah, and this is going to be interesting to see who wins that. It's an interesting matchup as well between Brad Green here with the ball now, 55, and Skylar White, 99. Complete contrast to the way that they play.
Inside, Green, right hand, gets the friendly bounce.
And we'll be saying that a lot tonight. Green inside, because that's where he's dominant, inside. And we'll see if Skylar White can contain him. It's going to be complete opposites, the other end of the floor. Skylar White is the modern-day stretch 5. He likes to shoot from the perimeter. Green not usually used to guarding someone like this.
And there is that 3-point shot. Ball bounces out. A lot of long rebounds in Bristol. Those rims, they don't rattle. They are strong rims, and you're not likely to get many friendly rolls. Holden again threatening this 3-point shot. This time it's off. Ollison, the bounce pass. Lucas, reverse, and it's all Bristol right now.
It is, and again, a lot of joy there, driving down that side of the baseline. Right side, reverse layup again for Bristol.
Right, back to basket. Foul is called on the floor. Matey Osgood makes the call. Holding foul.
Cheshire look like they're on the road at the moment here. They've got that little bit shell shock about them. And then I've been there before, you know, you get off the bus and you play, and for whatever reason, your mind and your body's just not in that location that physically you're in. And at the moment, Cheshire just look a pace off. And what you don't want to do is get in a big deficit here at home. Excuse me, away on against Bristol.
Christian comes off of the execution on the baseline. Mid-range, and 4-point game. Nothing to worry about, Phoenix fans.
Cam Christian's been excellent. He's been instrumental as well in this 8th game-winning streak that Phoenix are currently on.
Keedy Johnson tries to float one from long range. Right to Maceo Jack coming off the bench. Euro stepping, and no call there, but it will stay with Cheshire. Now, Maceo Jack coming off the bench, like, if you think about the numbers he puts up, Ro, I mean, what a weapon to have at your disposal.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's by design, because he was injured leading up to the trophy final, and Coach Ben Thomas brought him off the bench, but I think Cam Christian has a lot to do with it as well. He's been playing so well, along with EJ Stevens as well.
And referee just ready to put the ball into play. And we're just waiting for a table official correction. And we're just making sure that the clock is correct with the right time on for us. And the clock will slowly tick down. Slight malfunction, but things will go back to normal very, very shortly as Rideau waits. Very odd position to pass the ball in from the sideline there, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And the fans are literally on top of you as well, which creates for a great atmosphere.
Well, Cheshire are going to run almost the exact same play. Well, they set up exactly the same with Kristen to come off the stagger. As Maceo Jack gets that up, but Maceo Jack pops out, receives the ball, looks to get his 3 off. Get him going. They're in with a good chance of winning. And here's Ollison to the left hand. Fight for the rebound. Green will win that rebound, and Green will finish.
Wow, Brad Green, clearly the aggressor there on court. He's bigger and stronger than everyone else, and it's really important for him and Bristol that he establishes himself early.
Rye almost runs into a brick wall in the form of Green.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. You saw his body bounce off him. Usually Rye is the one that's able to create space off that bump.
Tevin Ollison and Bristol are playing with some serious fire. 4:38 remaining in the first, 12-4 the score. We're heading for a quick break. Don't go anywhere. End-line possession for the Cheshire Phoenix. We'll take a look at this play. Tevin Ollison, 4 points personal. An assist to his name, early doors. Skylar White ready to inbound. Full court pressure from Bristol. Their intentions are clear. They want to end this winning streak of the Cheshire Phoenix. Look at this pressure from Raf Thomas-Edwards. Zigzag drills.
Great on-board defense, and even if you don't steal the ball here, what you're doing is you're disrupting the Cheshire Phoenix offense while they're still struggling as well.
Maceo Jack closed out immediately. Aaron Rye took too much time, but will take the next one. No good for him. Kristen offensive boards. One-on-one with Lucas, the screen comes, they switch on it. Kristen trying to fight his way to the rack, and look, when shots aren't falling, it's one of the ways you've got to try and score the ball, get into a tough position, try and draw some contact to get to the line.
That's exactly it, and Cam Kristen's such a talent. He's been such a big part of how and why the Cheshire Phoenix have won the last 8 games, and not a great foul there from Thomas-Edwards as well. He's played excellent defense there initially with the full court pressure, and you just want him to just make things difficult. Again, this is a team that just haven't found their way in this game yet offensively, so you always want to force them into taking contested, difficult shots.
He's one of 6 players that average double digits for this Cheshire Phoenix team. 11 points per game for him. This is the second, rebounded by Green, who's already in this first quarter notched up 5 rebounds. The average is just under 10 per game. Also puts 15 points per game on the board as well. The mid-range, rebounded by Kristen. Behind the back against Trajan Jacob Christen. Wow, what a move!
It's remarkable. And he's now the proactive guard, now trying to make something happen. And he had an incredible college career. First year as a pro, he was transitioning pretty well.
Wow, look at the hand strap on Brad Green. He had 3 guys trying to rip the ball out of his hands.
It's like a man among boys, isn't it? He's so much bigger and stronger than everyone else on court. 6 early points for him.
Rideau on the left-hand side. Maceo Jack looks to steal inside. Skylar White jacks up another. And unfortunately for the Bristol Flyers, they give that one away. Cheshire Phoenix ball on the baseline, 3 minutes remaining in the first.
Yeah, just unfortunate there. Miscommunication. Both Bristol players going for the ball. It ricochets off Tevin Ollison. Look at that, 6 points, 5 rebounds. We haven't even played the first quarter yet.
Rideau to inbound. Christen, hands on it. He's the go-to guy right now. Those rims are unforgiving.
They really are. He did the hard part, didn't he? Slivered his way through and sliced through the defense. Couldn't quite get that layup to drop.
Ollison, that's way off. And a Cheshire Phoenix ball. Substitution checking in. Ralph Thomas Edwards. Substitution also for the Phoenix. Brad Green gets a chance to take a breather.
Well deserved. Dominant first 7 minutes from him.
And this is where Bristol Flyers, you know, have a slight challenge. You know, Leslie Smith is a great backup big for them. Unfortunately, he's not in the lineup today, so Ralph Thomas Edwards is going to have to fill that void. So inside is where they may be challenged. However, the Cheshire Phoenix like to play in the perimeter. Maceo Jack, ball knocked away out his hands, tries to go up, knocked away again, going all the way to the other end and blocked at the rim was Tevin Ollison. Christen is having a wonderful start to this game.
He really is. Excellent foot speed as well, just to get back, and perfect timing there with that blocked shot.
Johnson. Ralph Thomas Edwards guarded by Maceo Jack. Out to Bradley, slingshot triple, rebound for Rye.
This was a little bit more difficult now for the Flyers because they don't have that vocal point inside with Brad Green. They can always throw the ball into the post to him, but they don't have a natural post player on the floor at the moment, and neither does Cheshire Phoenix. But from an offensive point of view, you know, Bristol aren't as dynamic or as talented as Cheshire are offensively. So it'll be interesting to see who's going to take the reins now offensively for the Flyers.
Well, Brad Green's gone straight back into the game. Ralph Thomas Edwards to the bench.
Coach Kapoulis, I think, feels my concerns there. Brad Green's a good passer out of the post as well.
Inside Holden. Rebounded by Johnson, trying to put on the burners. He will do just that. Tries to go for the fancy finish. Rye needs to look up to find his teammates, does just that. And going all the way again, Cam Christen finishing at the rim.
Goodness me. Texas-born guard from Southwestern Atlantic Conference, Player of the Year, showing us all his talents on British soil.
He's got 7 points in the game now. It's a 5-point game overall. Bristol in the lead. Bradley, corner triple. Green gets his hand to it, but knocked out of his possession. Couldn't get 2 hands to it. Screen coming now for Christen. Ulf sets it. He's just going to go alone, though. And one, count it. Cam Christen is on fire right now.
Unstoppable. This time he uses the screen from David Ulf, and he attacks Brad Green straight in his chest. Extension too. Nice finish. Cam Christen, 9 points.
I believe a timeout has now been called by Andreas Kapoulis. They've allowed the Cheshire Phoenix to get back into the game. I say that, well, really, Cam Christen has got them back into the game. He's taking the tough shots, he's making the tough decisions, and he's making the difference right now.
No, I agree to hear, and that was the problem. Cheshire weren't really off the bus yet. You know, they started this game very tentative, you know, not really having much of a game plan, and it was Cam Christen who decided to change that. and take it upon himself. 4 for 5 from the floor for his 9 points.
Let's talk about the battle of the boards really quickly. Already 13 rebounds for the Cheshire Phoenix, 12 for the Bristol Flyers. Between both teams, there's 7 offensive rebounds. And that's because they have two different styles of rebounding. You know, Brad Green is always inside, traditional rebounder, cleaning up around the rim, etc. But for the Cheshire Phoenix, because they play on the perimeter, a lot of the guards crash the glass from outside, sneaking in from the weak side to try and claim the boards as well.
That's exactly it. It's a style of play, and those long rebounds are really well suited. It was excellent analysis of that on the Sunday night breakdown by David Forster just this past week. And you know, there's sometimes there's rationale and logic behind why they're able to consistently get these offensive rebounds, because the guards are so athletic and they crash from the wings, as you say, to here. So it's the Phoenix have got a well-oiled offense, and even if they miss shots, they've got an opportunity to get second opportunities.
Well, Cam Christon will go to the free throw line to take his tally to double digits, complete the three-point play. The Bristol Flyers fans will do what they can to try and put him off as he makes it. There it is, 10 points in just under 5 minutes of play for Cam Christon. Here come the Flyers now. Green receives at the high post. Oh, that's smart play there from Holden. Trying to throw it up. Christon, it was a little bit behind him, but Aaron Rise there for 3. Beautiful sidestep. Can he knock it down? Holden fighting for it. There's those offensive rebounds we spoke about. David Oath, he's in trouble here, but he's kept it alive. Christon, shot clock winding down. Rye will go again for 3. He's determined to knock one down.
He really was. He had one thing on his mind, and credit to him as well for the confidence to be able to redeem himself instantly. That if Cheshire Phoenix did not get anything from the offense, it would have been a crying shame, because it was an excellent steal initially to ignite that offense.
Cheshire Phoenix now in the lead by 1 after trailing. Johnson, long 2 for them. It's a real battle underneath the boards there. Christon, catch and shoot for him. Just a little off to the left, and Brad Green there. What a pass that is! Can he keep it alive? And just out of bounds as the clock was winding down. Johnson couldn't quite retrieve it, but it's been a bumper first quarter here. 15-14, the score don't go anywhere. Second quarter is coming up next. Back to the action. Here's the steal from Holden. and the 3 that capped off an 8-0 run for the Cheshire Phoenix. They're in the lead going into the second quarter. Welcome if you've just joined us to the Wise Arena. Bristol Flyers versus Cheshire Phoenix. And we have a ball game. Aaron Rye inside. Every single rebound, Anthony Rowe, is an absolute battle. Hands everywhere.
Yeah, no, agreed, and I love to see it. These will be two of the best rebounding teams you'll see this season.
Kristen. Once again, another great battle for a rebound. Johnson hands it off. Great ball movement. Trajan Jacob. And David Olf holds on tight to that one.
Oh, it's a great game for David Olf, isn't it? That's his bread and butter, is rebounding and fighting for loose balls.
Johnson trying to steal the ball away on the handoff. Holden. Rye with the offensive rebound inside. Aaron Rye, and he gets it to go.
He is so good at that. He's not the biggest, he's not the most athletic, but what he is a crafty scorer in there. His percentages are sky high when he gets the ball that low.
Green back to basket. 3 ball for Jacob. Rye now in possession. He'll be joining some of the British Basketball League team tomorrow in commentary. Make sure you check it out. Here's Kristen with a 3. Oh, nice work there from Holden. Come on, man. He's really trying to put the ball in the basket, Cam Holden. He's struggling. He's like 0 for 6 right now, but he's in good positions, and he's just hoping his moment will come.
Well, my worry for Bristol Flyers is they're accustomed to having these droughts, and at the moment, they're struggling to put the ball in the hole, and I don't think Cheshire Phoenix will have these long periods of them not being able to score the ball.
Oh my goodness, that might be the 3 of the season. Check the footwork on that. Keedy Johnson spinning round like he's working the dance floor.
Drought over, goodness me. That is a difficult shot. The balance he had as well to get that off.
Right now, he's trying to go inside, kicks it out. Kristen triple on its way. No, it's not. How about another? Maybe this time, maybe not. To be or not to be, that's the question, Ro.
Look at this game.
Jacob, he's fouled in the act of shooting 2 shots to come for him.
It's unbelievably erratic.
Check this out, footwork.
Oh, goodness.
Damn. Sweet string music, turn around. Shake your money maker.
That's a Kobe Bryant level shot right there, isn't it? Just the ability to create space with that spin, but also maintain the balance. That is such a high degree of difficulty shot.
Well, it wasn't too long ago. It was Kobe Day. 8th of the second, 24, 8-24, 2024, second 24. And so maybe he said Kobe. I wish we had a mic on him. Maybe he said Kobe after he made that.
Well, they're really going to need production from Trajan Jacob as well. I think he's one of these players in the league that has an ability to just change a game off his quick scoring. Good rebounder as well, just under 14 points per game. But with bodies down, and Bristol Flyers, in my opinion, they've been the most unluckiest team this year with the injury bug. They've had significant injuries this year, which has really plagued their consistent progress.
But they're battled nonetheless.
Oh, they've been fantastic. Especially in Europe as well. They're still going in Europe, and they're 11-11 in the league, which perhaps is a little bit underwhelming, but they've had to battle some elements.
And Cam Kristen, he's battling by himself. 13 points for him now.
Wow. 13 to 20 Cheshire points.
And one play on the side of the floor. We need to talk about Tevin.
Tevin Ollison, leading scorer for Bristol Flyers this year, and I really like how he's adapted and evolved his game. Known primarily as a shooter last season, averaged 10 points per game for Bristol Flyers, but he was more of a stand-up shooter. This year, he's doing a lot more of this. Inside, outside, pull-up, taking it to the hole.
The man from Memphis, Tennessee. Played at the University of Cumberland's in the NAIA before heading to Youngstown State University in his final year of college play. Starting his professional career, as Anthony Rose said, for the Bristol Flyers. It's been a great addition to their rosters. Holden finally gets a bucket to go. Will the floodgates open?
He's been excellent. I know he's had his struggles offensively. 0 of 7 he was before that shot, but he's done some really good things, rebounding the ball and playing tough-nosed defense.
Talk about tough-nosed defense there. Lucas was trying to get away from the hand that was on the ball, dragged him to the floor, but he turned it over. There's Holden's bucket. Holden over to Kristen. Nice screen from Stevens there. He's one-on-one now with Lucas. A little bit of a mismatch in size here, so he's backing him down, fading away, and Cam Kristen, he is determined.
Wow. It's a player sky high on confidence. 15 first half points so far for Christian.
Jacob, rotation, Ralph Thomas Edwards threatens to shoot. Entry post, Brad Green. Oh, and here we go, Cheshire Phoenix out on the run. What a spin there from Jack, can he make that play? David over, vital tip behind his head. Skipped across, that's where Maceo Jack likes it. Can't get the finish on that one.
Wow. These rebounds are ferocious though, aren't they? Every rebound's hard fought, and that's what they need to do. When you struggle scoring the basketball, throw the ball down low to Brad Green, who's going to get you a high percentage shot in and around the ring. That's the one deficiency that Cheshire has, is that interior defense.
Of course, a big man, a former center, would say pound the ball in the paint. Of course he would say that. But it's the right thing to do as Lucas drives to the right hand, and a nice little return of points here for the Bristol Flyers to give them the lead by 1.
Wow. Just a tug of war at the moment between these two clubs. But good signs for Bristol, because they do waver in confidence on the offensive end.
This little horns action here, which is like one-sided. Nice look here, Cheshire Phoenix. Kristen blocked away by Brad Green. He's saying, I had enough of you pouring points in my bucket. Here's Jacob flying through the defense, attacking the rack. Trajan Jacob, two-hand flush.
Wow, the stop leads to an instant offense there from Bristol Flyers. The execution of that outlet pass was on the money, and Trajan Jacob, before we knew it, was flying through for a dunk.
We're going to head for a quick break now. This game's electric. You don't want to miss it. Ready to restart this second quarter. 3-point lead now for the Bristol Flyers. And the full court pressure is there once again. Levi Bradley with a cheeky smile. Cam Holden aims to get it over half court. Tevin Ollison's a dog all over him. Holden finally gets him onto his back, but has got to kind of find a way to make the next play. White rolls off that one. Of course he's going to pop. He ain't going to roll to the basket. Jacob.
Excellent
rotation.
defense there, just excellent. Of course it results in a turnover, but if it didn't, then Cheshire's quality of shot was looking diminished by every second going by there, that shot clock.
Jacob into the corner. Bradley for three. Rebound for Jack. Corey Samuels has checked into the game for the Bristol Flyers. Aaron Wright is going to eat him up on the way to the bucket. That's a mismatch all over.
It really is. As soon as Aaron Wright gets you on his hip, meaning he's got half a step on you, it's all she wrote.
Back to a 1 point difference. Ollison. Stevens with the closeout. Samuels caught in the trap. He's got to find a shot here, Samuels. And that is a shot clock violation. The ball did not leave his hand before the buzzer sounded. And Cheshire Phoenix will get another possession.
Well, at the moment, it's battle of the will. It's like both teams are trying to make things as uncomfortable as possible for the other. That time, the Flyers look disjointed.
Rideau's back into the game. Rye receives. Up top, guarded by Ralph Thomas Edwards. The screen from Skylar White. Rye trying to find work inside, and Levi Bradley does a better job of keeping his hands active, keeping them straight, and striking at the right moment.
Yeah, brilliant job. And what he did there as well, Aaron Wright likes to go left, spin back to the right, and Bradley really was on that right hand, which makes Aaron Wright have to go back to his left, which isn't his strongest attribute. And Bradley's long enough to be able to contest and block that.
Cue Aaron Wright to make a big left-handed play now, right?
That's it.
Skylar White, and he opens up his bank account. You can't give him too many looks. He might miss the first few, but he's due to hit.
Only a matter of time before Skylar White joined the party and hit a three.
Ralph Thomas Edwards sneaking along the baseline. Gets it to go. Back to a tied game now. Maceo Jack all the way opposite end. End-to-end action.
It really is.
Those fans who are watching the British Basketball League for the first time, this is how we can describe a huge difference between other styles of game around the world. It's a really athletic league. And, you know, for the most part, play in these games are up and down, run the floor, get steals, get looks in transitions, or in the first 10 to 12 seconds of the shot clock. And I'm going to say that's for the most part, because of course there are a lot of anomalies. Here's that Skylar White triple, catch and shoot for the big man. Huge knockdown. And now Keedy Johnson, he's on the free throw line.
Well, this guy had a tough start. He did an injury, broke his wrist, was in a cast for 6 weeks on the sidelines, but he's been able to be reintroduced into this Bristol Flyers outfit, and it's like he hasn't missed a beat.
Well, he's missed the second shot on that free throw.
Yes.
But no, we understand your point, Rowie. He hasn't missed much of a beat. Nice work there from Aaron Ryan. Skylar White, hands all over. No easy pass out of this for you. EJ Stevens deep in the corner. He was behind the bucket there.
It was like he made things harder for himself, catching and shooting in that area. That's the most difficult shot. Well, one of the most difficult areas to shoot from is that corner.
He also had a little bit of time to be able to readjust his positioning there. Oh, great stand from Skylar White. Talk about running into brick walls early with Brad Green. Skylar White, just a tougher wall. Rideau inside, and that ball bobbles around. Referee will point in the direction of the Bristol Flyers. Let's have a look. Great stand there from Skylar White. Could be called in another game, really.
Yeah. But I mean, I like the no call. He's went straight up. He hasn't reached down, and I just like the feel of this game at the moment. You see the bench points. Goodness me, absolute domination there from the Phoenix.
Well, it's 15 points from Cam Christian. That's what that is.
Yes, it is. But still, you know, if Bristol had 15 points from Trajan Jacob, you know, it would, you know, that's what you need. You need a player to be able to come into a game and disrupt what's going on.
Lucas coming off the screen now, kicks it out. Ollison Hesitation, tries to Euro through, does get there. He almost lost the ball as well.
Beautiful move there. And just love the versatility that he's showing this year. He's so much more of a threat offensively than he was last year.
Rideau. And off to Stevens. White sets the screen. Looks to the corner. Aaron Rye off the dribble now. Backing down Ollison. Stevens catch and shoot. Can't beat the buzzer on that one. 1 minute to go in this highly entertaining first half of basketball. It might be low scoring.
It's not low intensity.
That's what we like to hear, and that's what we like to see. Brad Green with a mid-range shot. Let's say that's not his speciality.
It's got that like playoff feel to it as well. I know we're in February. It's several months away from the playoffs, and I think it helps that these two teams have only played each other once as well. So again, there's a lot of the unknown, and that was all the way back in October 2023. So it's been a long time since these two teams have faced each other.
It means a lot to both of these two teams because they know that they're going to be up there in the league, and the final standings this game will have a big say in that. Offensive foul is called here on Skylar White on the screen action. It's called an illegal screen. He disagrees with it, but every player disagrees with most calls the referees give. Here is Lucas trying to run down the clock a little. About 10-second differentiation between the shot clock and the game clock. Calling for the screen from Green, but he rejects it. Nice work there from Lucas. And before the Cheshire Phoenix could get out and running, a timeout was called by Ben Thomas with 10.9 seconds remaining in the half. A chance to draw something up so they can get a good look, but I can't help but think that after back of that play, they were already out and running and could have got a good look at the basket. Here's that play from Lucas.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, they've done a good job of retaliating, and as soon as the ball goes through the net, you want to get it out and push it. I mean, look, it's still relatively low score, and it's 34-31, but I wouldn't say it's a discredit to the offense. It's just that defensively, both teams have exerted energy in trying to prevent the other from scoring.
Well, let's take a look at tomorrow's games. 3 o'clock, Manchester Giants take on the Newcastle Eagles. After that, we'll see the Bristol Flyers. They go back-to-back at home. They take on the Surrey Scorchers, who are going back-to-back. They played in the game earlier today where they took victory over the Patriots. And then the Caledonia Gladiators will take on the Leicester Riders for a bumper clash. That's going to be a great one. I'll be calling that game for you live here on the British Basketball League YouTube channel. It's a 9-game week, and you can watch Inside the Paint on the British Basketball League YouTube channel as well. Get the inside news, Inside the Paint, with our presentation team. Well, we've got over 2,000 people watching us live on Twitch right now. Big thank you very much for your support. Big shout out to the Twitch listeners, but also big shout out to our North American following. I know you're learning a lot about the British Basketball League. More and more of you tune in every single week. It's great to have you with us. Make sure you come back for more. 12.2 seconds on the clock here. Let's see what the Cheshire Phoenix have drawn up. LaQuincy Rideau wants to get it over the half. Oh, check out the behind the back. Smooth handles. End line ball is knocked away. 6.4 on the clock. Look at this. Bye-bye, Tevin.
Wow. Loses it there. Good hands.
Oh, and Lucas tries to deflect that one, just gets the bounce there, almost was successful in that. We call that sending him to the shops. That's what we call that, Ro. Go buy me a Snickers bar or a marathon or whatever they call it these days. Kristen, foul. That's a bailout call there. He's going to go to the free throw line. 2 shots for him.
Well, he has been a problem for the Bristol Flyers. They haven't really had an answer for him. 15 big first half points for him so far.
Couldn't see where Johnson was trying to do that. In fact, another timeout has been called here. I'm guessing by Andreas Kopoulas. I think he had one more to give. But we need to tell you more about what's coming up in March. We have our All-Star game coming up. If you need to know more about the British Basketball League, this is what you need to find out more about.
Game of basketball. requires a high level of concentration, advanced physical skills, and a deep knowledge of strategy.
It's also an unbeatable fun.
That's what I'm talking about.
Nothing beats unbeatable basketball.
Get it, boys.
Nothing beats high-flying dunks. Nothing beats three-pointer from deep. Wow! Woo. Nice. Nothing beats selecting your favourite players from the north and south. Nothing beats the best basketball entertainment. Watching the UK's best ballers. The sickest skills in the UK. It's the All-Star Game, baby. Unbeatable All-Stars. March 17th, London Copperbox. Woo.
You do not want to miss it. That man will most likely be there, Aaron Rye. Featured heavily in that promo. And what a promo it is. Looking forward to the first All-Star Game in many, many years in the British Basketball League. But right now, 4 seconds on the clock as Christian knocks down the first of his 2 free throws. He's going to potentially finish up with 17 points at the half here, Cam Christian.
Just to put into context as well, he's a guy that averages 11 points per game, but he's been a guy that's got hot in the latter stages of this season.
What a pass from Green, and it slips away. And Cheshire Phoenix now have 1.9 seconds on the clock.
That's the second time that's happened. Same players involved as well, Bragg, Green to
Oh, I think the Flyers, they need to find a new quarterback,
They
quite
do.
clearly.
They do.
That's a little nod there to the NFL game pickings happening, but you don't want to watch that. You're going to be watching British Basketball League action. Here's Rideau, and that's held up there. Well, that will be the end of the half here, 34-33. As I mentioned, Ro, it was really low scoring first half, but a game full of entertaining moments.
Oh, plenty. There's been everything. Battle of the boards as well. It's been ferocious, and individuals having to shine brighter than others. Cam Christian, 17 first half points for him, leading the way, but not much in it between these two clubs. I'm all ready for round 2.
Well, let's dig a little deeper into the analysis right after the break. Welcome to British Basketball League Championship action. My name's Ty Hadja alongside Anthony Rowe. We're at a halfway point in a thrilling game and a low-scoring game between the Bristol Flyers and the Cheshire Phoenix. Let me tell you, the Cheshire Phoenix are 13 for 44, but they only trail by 1 at this moment in time. Rowe, tell us a little bit more about this game.
Well, there's been incredibly low percentages and low output in offense, but what it has not been is low intensity, high intensity. Both teams scrapping for every single possession. It's got that playoff feel to it, and I love the desire to stop the other team on the defensive end.
Let's take a look at the stats in a little bit more detail. As we've said, 13 for 44. They're 3 for 20 from behind the arc row, but we spoke about the rebound battle too.
That is not pretty reading. Goodness me. 1 for 8 for the Bristol Flyers, who, look, they've been used to shooting the ball poorly, but that is next level. But, you know, again, the struggles continue for the Cheshire Phoenix. 3 for 20, that's significant volume there, excuse me. And a lot of shots missed, but, you know, battle of the boards going to Cheshire Phoenix at the moment. You know, players coming in from everywhere, grabbing those misses, because there has been a lot of misses. Both teams are going to have to increase those numbers in the second half.
Well, if you've just joined us, we need to give you a rundown of how that first half unfolded. And at the beginning of the game, it was all Bristol Flyers. We highlighted Tevin Ollison early doors. And basically, he was the man of the moment until a man called Cam Christon checked in. I mean, Brad Green was also getting things going, wasn't he, Ro?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they threw the first punch, and then this was it. Cam Christon opened the floodgates, but Bristol did a good job of getting points in the paint. As you see here, the baskets they scored early were good, high, aggressive shots in and around the rim. You see Tevin Ollison there slivering his way through, but this was the man of the hour. Cam Christon, just unbelievable. Scored in a number of ways, attacking the rim in the open floor, but also hesitation move here, but also from the perimeter.
He had 17 points and in 11 minutes coming off the bench. That's insane. That's incredible. Just like this three-point shot from Keedy Johnson. Turn around. Kobe, cash money on that one. Tevin Ollison also getting the work in, as we mentioned early on in the game. But it didn't just stop there for Christon. He was trying to find different ways to score the ball, as you've said, Ro. And if he wasn't doing that, his teammates were trying to back him up by getting rebounds. Lucas, he's been in and around the action as well. He's got himself 8 points, 5 assists to his name. Look at this dime as he finds Trajan Jacob for the two-handed slam. Skylar White finally opened his account from behind the arc. That man is 1 for 6 right now, I believe, from downtown. 1 for 4 from downtown for Skylar White. Well, look, we've got lots of action happening this weekend in the British Basketball League, so we've got some more games to update for you. Up first, you're going to see London versus Sheffield, and then after that, you're going to see the Surrey Scorchers taking on Plymouth, which was the game that happened earlier on, so sit back and enjoy those games.
Ramsey spins a tough mid-range two and he drains it. Nothing but net for DeVille Ramsey.
Why not, he said.
Grantham for 3, drains the 3. Ramsey again, and that is far too easy for the Sheffield Sharks.
And this is what you'll see with the Sharks. Long offenses, side-to-side ball movement.
Kipper Nichols knocks down the 3.
And they need that from Kipper, you know.
Pipkins looking to drive inside. The shot was way off the mark, and they do well to save that play, but into the hands of Ratinho, who splashes the triple. Kareem Quealy, nice pass inside to Olaseni, out to Morgan for a corner 3 ball, and he drains it. Here's Tariq Phillip going the other way, goes downhill, all the way to the hole, off the glass and in.
Boom, strong.
Good pass inside to Morgan, who jams it in.
Wait a minute, who's that?
Oh, what a move. And what a finish. DeVille Ramsey gets the friendly roll around the bucket. Over the timeline, screen comes from Cook. Rodney Glasgow from the top of the key, knocks it down. Nichols fakes the 3, pulls up for a mid-range 2 and knocks it down.
Used all of the shot clock that time.
20-point lead for the London Lions. Nelson kicks it out to Morgan. Morgan for 3, knocks it down.
What a pass. Nelson is so good at that. Locked up to Sharma, who jams it in. Well, that's the second pass in a row from Nelson.
Sharma for three. Why not? Knocks it down. Driving baseline, puts it up and in.
Nice recognition from Nichols.
Here's Glasgow for the open three. He splashes it. Kaboza gets it to go and count it. Pipkins fires up for three, knocks it down. And that will do it here at the Copper Box Arena in London. The London Lions picking up their 10th straight win in the British Basketball League.
Dusha collects it for the Patriots. Wiley at the elbow. Nice pass to Levi. He goes to the right hand. Slips through it, Levi. Dusha goes all the way.
Oh, goodness me. Good finish from Abdul Mohammed there.
And now an interception here for Steele. Andrew Lawrence ahead of him. Lawrence with the easy lay-in for two. Another steal for the Scorchers. Ogadengbi, Lawrence, Jameson taking off right hand. Good to go. Last few seconds of this one then. Jules Dangakodo goes all the way on the money. Big play for Jules Dangakodo, a much needed bucket. And it's only a 4-point game. TJ Atwood continues to score. Nice pass there from Steele, just a little bit over the shoulder of Okasieme. Otherwise, it was showtime. Here's Copeland in the corner for three now. They need it, and he's got it. Oh, nice block there from Copeland on the defensive end. Joe Hart now has to deal with Saquon Jameson. Dusha throws it up to Levi. Alley-oop layup.
Beautiful play there. And
Lawrence across. Bailey, money! Elliot Bailey knocking it down. Wang. Bailey was waiting, but that's a beautiful bounce pass inside to Jameson. Atwood across to Green. Green firing up once again. One pass, one shot, but it works for him. Here's Padilla Wang now, swiped away from Joe Hart. That's great defense. Cam Copeland in transition, punching the play, and all of a sudden, this game has shown us some energy. Robinson, touch pass, that same touch pass from Lawrence again. 4-point game, clock winding down. Needs this Copeland. Three's good, oh my goodness, Cam Copeland. He's gone for the miss, and that will be the ball game. Saquon Jameson without a rebound, sneaky rebound onto the end of his tally there. The Surrey Scorchers do the clean sweep of the Plymouth City Patriots. Welcome back, British Basketball League Championship action. It's a great game between the Cheshire Phoenix and the Bristol Flyers. It's a 1-point difference. It's low scoring, but it's one of the best games I've seen so far this season in terms of excitement and entertaining plays. My name is Tahir Hadja alongside Anthony Rowe. And we have ourselves a ball game, Anthony.
We do, and I'm ready for this second half to get kick-started, because what we saw was a high-intensity, competitive half from both clubs. And you know, this guy here right there, number 9, Kristen, was number 1, excuse me, was unbelievable in his pursuit of putting his team on his back and carrying them to the promised land. 17 first half points for Cam Kristen.
He did that all in 11 minutes of play. But really, the wild, crazy stat that we're kind of trying to figure out right here is the Cheshire Phoenix going 13 for 44. What an incredibly low percentage of makes that is, but still in this game. Bristol Flyers are 14 for 33. Their percentage obviously looks a little better, but it's that 1-point difference that separates these two teams. Coach Ben Thomas, is deep in thought there, Anthony Rowe.
Whoa, this is a rare thing that he's seen of his team. I mean, just to put it into context, the Cheshire Phoenix averaged 92 points per game, so they're shooting and producing well below their averages at the moment. But Bristol Flyers are accustomed to playing these dogfight games, and that's where I would say perhaps the advantage goes to them now. Yes, they're the home court team, but also they've just had more of these low-scoring, scrappy affairs that have gone their way this season.
Well, we're ready to get this second half started, so reach over your shoulder, grab the seatbelt, click it in, here we go. The Quincy Rideau in possession as the foul is called here, and the arms thrown up by Lucas. Quite sure about that. Little soft call, but a foul nonetheless. Sideline ball.
They've done a really good job on the Quincy Rideau so far. You know, he's their guy that leads them, the floor general. He's on 0 points, hasn't even taken a field goal. He has got 4 assists, so he's still doing his thing on the offensive end, but I think they've done a really good job of just frustrating him and trying to take him out of his normal game.
See if a halftime talk from Ben Thomas will help him rejuvenate himself to what we know he's capable of. There's Lucas there trying to put on the pressure. The pass into the corner. Skylar White, he's going to let it fly, and he's going to rattle it in for 3.
Goodness me, and Brad Green has to get up. You either deny the ball there when Skylar White's at the top of the 3-point line, or you really have to get under him and make him drive by you.
Ralph Thomas Edwards trying to find the out pass. There it is. Oh, Tevin Ollison rising high and throwing it down. Clean-up duty.
Wow, flying in from the wing. Tevin Ollison had a superb first half himself. That takes him to 11 points personal now.
Rye comes off the screen from White. He's got one-on-one with Brad Green here. Let's see what he does with it. He kicks it out to Rideau. Rideau one-on-one with Ralph Thomas Edwards and fires that one in, rattles it up. Ralph Thomas Edwards was on skates for a moment there.
He was. It's a tough mismatch for him being on the guard there, but the Quincy Rideau took full advantage of it. His first 3 points of today.
Ollison, quick reply for him. 5 points in quick succession.
Wow. Ollison, one of the players we highlighted before the game, and he's certainly delivering so far.
Skylar White again, rebounded by Holden, skipped across. LaQuincy Rideau, he'll fire it up one more time. He was at 0 points. He said, no, 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 it's not going to go this way in the second half.
Wow. X-factor player LaQuincy Rideau has the ability to change games on both ends of the floor, defensively and offensively, and here he is defensively. Great baseline steal.
He's driving forward now, kicks to the corner, Cam Kristen. Ball fake, and I believe it will be called there for a travel, but it's not. A hand check foul has been called. And that will be on Ralph Thomas Edwards. I thought he shuffled his feet a little bit there. Official Eddie Dansky sees otherwise. There's Rideau's step back, caught Ralph Thomas Edwards in the eye. Then he says, I'm wide open, gonna pull it. Just made the last one. It counts, baby. And now here's Cam Holden. Man who is going through his scoring woes today. He goes to the right hand and still going through it at this moment in time. He is 1 for 10.
Goodness me.
As now Lucas attacks from the left-hand side. Mid-range shot for him. Ralph Thomas Edwards. And there's LaQuincy. You're never safe with LaQuincy Rideau about. The league leader in steals. Ralph Thomas thought he was just guarded by the guy in front of him. Come from behind. LaQuincy Rideau, swipe. I want some of that. Give me a piece of your cake.
No, I agree. I think if I was a player in today's game and I saw him anywhere near me, I'm not dribbling the basketball, because he is an absolute pest. Defensive Player of the Year back in 2019 as well, the American Atlantic Conference, and in my eyes, he's the Defensive Player of the Year so far in the British Basketball League.
Here is Rye, back to Rideau. Eyeing up the triple, but decides, let me be a little sensible here, trying to find a good look inside. Kristen, great plant now of his feet. Does get a good shot off there, but rolls around the rim and out. Lucas flows by White. Pull up on the dime. Ooh, and that was a little ugly, that jump shot.
Yeah, not a good decision.
Kristen throws that one away. And Kapoulis, I think he wanted a charge, and Ben Thomas is saying a few choice words as well.
One of the biggest surprises for me as well, fast break points 11-4 in favor of Bristol Flyers. Yes, that's right, Bristol Flyers. Usually this is where the Cheshire Phoenix thrive, in the open floor, fast break, but there's been Flyers who have been better in that area.
And a steal now, Cam Holden pushing forward. Kenny Johnson does enough to control possession again for the Flyers. They look to the corner, Ollison for three, and that's a big one. I can't quite fathom how he got that shot, because there were enough defenders and nobody saw Tevin in the corner.
Well, it all starts with Kenny Johnson. Great work to chase back there. And
finesse that man again. Kristen Mama, there goes that man. And one play. That's 19 points personal. Weaving his way to the bucket. Come here, Brad, don't reach over the top of me. Take a foul. You might need to sit down after that.
That's just a great use of the screen as well, set by Skylar White. And he attacks Brad Green, goes straight at him, and Brad Green doesn't need to reach down there and just stay straight up, make things difficult. Kristen's making everything anyway.
Yes, seems like his day today. As Green actually picks up only his second personal foul. For some reason, I thought he had more, but he'll stay on the floor. In fact, I believe he's come off the floor at this point. Poulos did sit Brad Green down. Johnson coming off the screen action. Ralph Thomas Edwards lets the three go, and he'll make that one. Ralph Thomas Edwards, El Capitan.
Well, if you're going to go into battle, he's the type of player that you'd want. Again, a competitor, fearless, both ends of the floor, and the captain leading by example there, knocking down that three.
Huge triple. As now Lucas, he's on the prowl, gets the steal, bounce pass. Thomas Edwards! Oh, looked like it could have been an and one, but Cheshire breaking out. Rideau, he'll finish on the other side of the rim too. This is lightning-paced basketball.
It really is, and don't blink or you'll miss what's about to unfold.
Ollison, and the foul will be called this time. Foul called on Cam Kristen. Two shots will come for him. Substitutions checking into the game. Nice play for Ollison. Still a 1-point lead for the Bristol Flyers. Scoring has improved for both of these teams. Here is that play. Now LaQuincy Rideau, double tap on the backboard. But don't forget, it was just last weekend when he put Larry Austin Jr. on the poster.
He did. He did. The point guard getting above the rim, punched it down.
Now here's Ollison on the line. Rattles that one into 3-point lead now for the Bristol Flyers. This game is far from over. Halfway through the third. Rideau uses the screen from White behind the back pass. Ooh, that ping balls around. It's eventually picked up by Jacob. Trying to find some space to settle the offense here for the Flyers, which they do. Looking down low to Bradley. Beautiful spin from Bradley. Finish And that's good to go. And we're going to have a break now. At 4 minutes 38 on the clock. It's 51-46. The Bristol Flyers slowly pulling away from the Cheshire Phoenix. But this is far from over. Come back right after this. Coach Ben Thomas and his coaching team ready to counter what Bristol have thrown at them. Will Bristol snap their win streak? Well, if this man has anything to do about it, LaQuincy Rideau in possession for the Cheshire Phoenix. Rye. Eventually uses the screen from Ulf, but now he's stuck. Kristen finds room for three. Then a rebound for Jacob.
Wasn't a great offense there, was it?
Not particularly.
Ball stuck in the hands, over-dribbled, lack of movement.
Four shot at the end.
Yeah, relatively easy for Flyers to contest that one.
Levi Bradley now will put some more points between them. It's the biggest lead of the game, I believe, so far. Or tying the biggest lead of the game, at least. Stolen away. Johnson behind the back. Showtime! Tevin Ollison, 21 points personal, and that is the biggest lead of the game now.
Goodness me, good space in there. And
oh, there's counterpart there. Cam Christian and one. No, you got 21. I want 21 too.
This is it. This is the matchup, and credit to Christian. Every time something's happened, he's responded. But good fast break here, good space in. Great decision from Keedy Johnson. And Ollison gets a jam.
Take off Tevin as Cam Christian gets to the rack, needs to respond to keep the Cheshire Phoenix within touching distance and go 1 point better than Tevin Ollison to take his tally to 22, which is what he will do. Cheshire Phoenix fans, of course, traveling in force. Despite the long journey, doesn't matter to them. They travel. The Knicks Nation. Here's Johnson, nice behind the back pass once again. Corner with Ollison. Jacob, deep three, he likes to fire those up, rebounded by Ulf. Holden, back out, Kristen, a chance at three for him, and it's money! Cam Kristen!
Oh my goodness. He got a little fortunate there with the defense hitting the deck, but that wide open jump shot looked as easy as a layup for him.
Johnson, no good for him, rebounded by Ulf. Skipped across to Rideau. Rideau's going to pull up in transition. He's going to get his own rebound. He's going to try and get to the basket, but it's spilt. Too many defenders in his way. Jacob, he'll slip here. Looks like his leg was caught underneath him. Rideau, and he's fouled hard on his way to the bucket. Looked like he was about to react. David Ulf just trying to calm his teammate down. Levi Bradley.
They've really frustrated LaQuincy Rideau today. I mean, it hasn't had any adverse effects on him so far. 8 points personal, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, but they've really been physical with him and was not happy with that one. And you just hope that Trajan Jacob is okay as he looked to fall awkwardly on the play before.
It's like his knee fell underneath him and just kind of overextended, got stuck there. But he is walking and just hobbling a little bit, so hopefully nothing too serious. Maybe we could shake it off, ice it, ready to go. Bristol in team foul trouble. Cheshire only got 1 foul in this quarter. Rideau on the free throw line makes the first. And they were down by as many as 9, and they've just brought this game potentially back to 1 point if Rideau makes this.
Oh, to the pleasure of those Knicks Nation on the drums there. I mean, I think it's going to be one of those things too. Who else is going to come to the party? We've got Kristen established. Bristol's got Ollison established. You know, who else is going to be able to contribute? You know, I think Cheshire Phoenix is slowly getting Rideau into the game. Rye's got 7, but it's going to be a case now of who else is able to contribute. So far, it's still been relatively quiet from the likes of Jack, Holden, White has got 6 points.
7-0 run for Cheshire. Last minute, foul called on the floor here on Cam Holden.
Bristol still got guys like Brad Green and Keedy Johnson, Lucas. They've got pregnant gains in them as well in terms of point production.
Ollison scooping it underneath, not enough this time. Rebounded by Rideau, pushing the ball forward now. They're running in transition. What can Rideau do? Finds Maceo Jack, who's spilling it. He's not having a great game today, Maceo Jack. Bradley, Johnson, no good for him. Ollison with the rebound. Johnson, he's going to drive, and blocking foul is called here. Ulf thought he was there in time. 2 shots to come. We're going to watch that one back.
It's a big collision, wasn't it? Oh, it was tough, wasn't it? But I think in slow motion, it's. Oh, I think it's a good call. I'm going to go with the referee on this. When you see David O's feet aren't really that set.
Just comes across a little late.
Yeah.
Johnson makes the first. Stop that run for the Cheshire Phoenix. Makes the second 2. 4 points between them now. Flyers crowd getting into the game, getting behind the team on the defensive end, and it's almost worked there as Bradley deflects it. Cam Kristen looking calm, ready. He's got 25 to his name. Holden. Maceo Jack still can't get himself going.
And sometimes that's the adverse effect of having a guy that's dominant, you know, 25 points. Everyone else hasn't got in rhythm, they haven't got in flow, they haven't got their shots up. So it can be a negative as well.
Brad Green, big offensive rebound. LaQuincy Rideau. Wow! Ripped it straight from his hands, like taking candy from a baby. Kristen, mid-range. Foul is called underneath the basket here. Foul is called on number 1, Lucas, for a push. And in fact, it'll be 2 shots now due to the team foul trouble of the Bristol Flyers. Hopefully we can see that steal again. The league leader in steals, LaQuincy Rideau, steal number 4 in the game for him. Watch this. Brad Green, strong hands. No. I'm taking that. Give me your phone, give me your keys, give me your wallet.
He is the best at the business at that.
Daylight robbery. Well, I think it's nighttime now, isn't it? It's daylight in our North American listeners and viewers' time zone, I'm sure.
There's always daylight somewhere.
Yeah, there's always daylight somewhere. The line counts. Here we go, David Olf on the line. He was pushed underneath the basket. Needs to close the gap here. Misses the first free throw, David Olf. This season, David Olf is shooting 40% from the free throw line. And he'll get his second free throw now. He's been there 25 times this season. And misses both of those. Vital.
Trajan Jacob back on court. That's a good sign for Bristol Flyers as he left following an awkward fall.
Johnson. Green is sealed inside here. That's a problem. The foul is called, 2 shots to come.
Well, he attracts so much attention that when you look at that, he had 3 or 4 players around him. Look, he gets fouled, but there was a kick out there to Trajan Jacob on the far corner, or far wing, excuse me. But look at this.
4 players, yeah. Green misses the first free throw. He's got 13 rebounds.
Wow.
In this game so far, Brad Green, the double-double machine, is 2 points away from his double-double. Now just 1 point away.
Well, we watched 2 of the best rebounders in the league go at it today, and Spencer Levi.
Jameson.
And Jameson, thank you. And now Brad Green is the leading rebounder in the league. And he is showing us all that he's the best rebounder on the Saturday.
Rideau just trying to find a way there, but Bristol Flyers, are they going to capitalize? Oh, Kenny Johnson!
Tough finish.
Clock winding down, he needs to get it off quick. Can Kristen make it from halfway? Oh, so close. It wouldn't have been a surprise with the performance this man is having if he'd have made that one. Well, the Bristol Flyers are 60-53 in the lead at the end of the third quarter. The final 10 minutes of this one's going to be electric. Make sure you join us straight after this break. British Basketball League Championship action here in Bristol. 1 point between these teams in the first quarter, 2 points between them in the second. and the last quarter, Bristol won by 6. That's the defining moment. It's a 7-point game here. It's about to explode into a wonderful affair, this fourth and final quarter. Can they snap the streak that the Cheshire Phoenix are on? Well, it's time to find out. Myself, Ty Hajat, and Anthony Rowe, your commentary team for this one, as Bristol make a miss on their first attack of the game. Here is Holden. Maceo Jack. He's going to the rim this time, and he has been off key, Rowe.
He has. It just hasn't been the same level of, I think, commitment from him on that, conviction, excuse me, from him. He usually averages 17.6 points per game. He's been quite indecisive in his nature today. Just 2 points.
Another play that also is under what we usually expect from him is Aaron Rye. He's only got 7 points.
And they went to him early as well. You know, he was a big part of their production in the earlier stages of this game, but they sort of went away from him and not been able to get in looks.
I guess this is also the second time that these teams are actually meeting this season. So they've got to figure themselves out still a little bit. Maceo Jack heads to the bench early on in this fourth and final quarter. Aegis Stevens checking in. And as they figure themselves out, they'll find out where the weaknesses are and the advantages are for each other's game. I do think trying to find a mismatch for Aaron Rye is one of the opportunities where they can score the ball. I mean, Brad Green going to work here, a fight for the rebound. Offensive block by Skylar White.
Wow, he's done really well there. As Brad Green gets to that deep, it's over.
Skylar White stepping up for 3, knockdown.
And that's the area that we thought would be a massive mismatch. They just haven't been able to utilize it as much.
3 for 8 from downtown for White. And another steal now for the Cheshire Phoenix, or should I say a defensive rebound off the missed shot. White, he wants it again. Come here, Brad Green. Skylar White is playing point center.
Unbelievable. And Brad Green is not accustomed to using, to guarding guys out there, and Skylar White never needs much time or space to get up a three-point shot, and there he is, back-to-back threes, and you can see how much that means to him.
A little crossover between legs, pull up, hold that, Brad. The three-point play, well, three-point perimeter. This ain't your house. This is where I roam around. I crown myself king. You can see the energy that he's got there. Ben Thomas there. There you go. If we get stops, gotta. He's literally reaffirming your point there, Ro. Get stops, we've got to punish them. 20-6 in the fast break points. You mentioned they're the best team in the league for fast break points.
They are. They average 20 points a game themselves, and you know, I couldn't believe it when I saw that. It's actually been Bristol that have been the ones that are dominant in their area of strength. You know, Bristol Flyers done an excellent job, really been able to get on the open floor. 20 points for them so far, but just 6 for Cheshire. So, you know, Coach Ben Thomas wants to get back to his brand of basketball, because at the moment, this scrappy, low-scoring game, I think it favors the Bristol Flyers.
Well, that's 12 points personal now for Skylar White. Those 2 triples, one after the other, right in Brad Green's face, means that he has to sit down right now. Raf Thomas Edwards, a little bit more versatile in his movement. Will hopefully be a slightly better matchup on the perimeter. Coach Kapoulis is hoping against Skylar White, but full court pressure now. Cheshire Phoenix, they've got themselves back into the game again.
They have, yeah, and just like that as well, 2 shots from Skylar White, and here we are back to a 1-point game.
Jacob, nice pump fake there. Uh-oh. And that will be picked up for a backcourt violation. Cheshire Phoenix ball, the turnover. Jacob just kind of launched that pass. Didn't really have a target, did he?
No, he didn't. And this will be a test now for Bristol. You know, when you watch a lead disintegrate like that.
A timeout called here by Ben Thomas and the Cheshire Phoenix. They're going to talk this over, maybe draw something up here.
Well, and this is one of the areas that you question the Bristol Flyers, and they go through these droughts, inability to consistently score the basketball. You know, they've done really well up to now. 26 points in that third quarter.
This is a great matchup we're seeing right here. Camp Kristen, 25 points. Tevin Ollison, 21 on the board. Wow.
Yeah, incredible. And both of these two players, as well as really been able to make their imprint in their game when the team needed it the most. So whenever there was a big play, then Kristen would respond, and likewise with Ollison. So it's been an absolute pleasure to watch these two go at it today.
And hopefully there's more to come, because there's plenty of action left in this fourth or final quarter. 7 minutes or so on the clock. End-line possession for the Cheshire Phoenix. Can they get themselves back into the lead after the backcourt violation turnover?
Well, when these two teams played each other in October, it was a 4-point game, and Bristol won that, but you throw it out because it was such a long time ago. Rosters were very different then. Well, maybe not for Cheshire Phoenix, but certainly players were playing differently for them. In Bristol, the roster's different.
Skylar White, he's fouled right here. Bradley, hands on his head. Skylar White's going to go to the line for 3 free throws. Nice execution on that play there.
Yeah, it was, and this is the positive ripple effect now for making back-to-back threes. Defense are fearful of you making a third, and that causes overzealous of defense there, and the foul. Oh, he's hit him on the back. I can see that from here.
Yeah, well, if you just missed the play there, they run the same staggered action to get Kristen to come over the 2 screens, but then a re-screen from Kristen to Skylar White, who set his second screen so that Skylar White could pop out and knock down that 3, but instead fouled. He goes to the line. He's 1 out of 3, make that 2 out of 3. Now a chance to put Cheshire up by 2. She's got the unbeatable t-shirt on.
What it is to be a Cheshire Phoenix fan right now. What a time.
And there it is. There is the 2-point lead.
Team is on a 8-game winning streak, all competitions. You just bagged a piece of silverware, and now you're wrestling it out with Bristol Flyers, one of the premium teams in the league.
9-0 run. Ralph Thomas Edwards back to the spin. Tried to get up for a shot. Foul called. Foul we call it Cam Holden, who's on his second personal foul now. You know, we spoke about Cam Holden going for 1 for 10, but he's also got 8 rebounds and 4 assists.
Yeah, he does so many other things. Yeah,
he's just trying to find a way to make a contribution to his game.
Yeah, it's a very unique player as well, because he's an in-betweener. He's like, is he a forward? Is he a guard? He runs point as well. It's very versatile.
Bradley stops the bleeding finally to tie the game up.
Bradley's an interesting piece for this Flyers team. He played for Flyers before, but he's a late addition after the injury to Royal Graham Bell.
Aaron Rye, and 1, punches the air as he can now put his points on the board once again. 9 points for him, chance at 10. He's also got 8 rebounds to his name, doing a little bit of everything.
How many times have we seen this? This time he spins in the middle towards his left hand, and strong play from Aaron Ryan. That punch, I think, is a little bit of relief as well, because he's had a little bit of a frustrating since the first quarter.
Well, he's 2 points off a double-double.
That's how good he is, though, isn't it? He's had a frustrating night, but he's still on course for a double-double.
In the corner here with Ollison, trying to add more to his tally, but rebounded by Stevens. Cam Holden is breaking away. Rye trying to find the next pass. It's held up. And that's great defensive effort. And the Bristol Flyers, the possession arrow points in their direction. They've got a little bit of fortune there.
Almost another turnover for Phoenix there.
Did I say Bristol Flyers? I meant Cheshire Phoenix. I think I did. Here we go. There it is. Hands in the mixer. Possession arrow points in their direction. Skylar White comes up to set that screen. Of course, he rolls off to the perimeter. E.J. Stevens, catch and shoot. He can do that too. E.J. Stevens for 3, 5 points personal.
It's a big shot, because E.J. Stevens has been another guy who's been quiet today. He was just 1 for 4 before that, 2 points. And that's a play now that makes Bristol have to honor him from the perimeter.
Lucas. Ollison, they need a response here, Bristol. Jacob That would have been a brilliant response if he'd have made it. Cam Holden comes up with the defensive rebound, 9 rebounds for him.
And that's an uncharacteristic miss as well from Trajan Jacob. He hasn't been the same impact this game. Just 3 points for him, 1 for 5.
It's a 15-2 quarter for the Cheshire Phoenix. Look at this catch, shoot, feet, set, money.
15-2 to Tahir. It's those droughts. You cannot go these long periods of time when you're playing someone like Cheshire Phoenix without scoring the basketball.
That's the 4th personal foul on John Lucas. He's headed to the bench as Johnson replaced him. Holden, he's now found the basket for 3. There he is. It's just on time for Holden.
And that's such a hard thing to do sometimes when you're a player, when you're 1 for 10, to have the confidence to shoot that shot like that. And Brad Green now starts to, because that's Brad Green. If he's on the floor, he has to produce inside. There's no point of him being on the floor because he's going to have that mismatch with Skylar White here, having to chase him on the perimeter.
Well, he's got 11 points, 16 rebounds. He's got his double-double. Scoop inside there by Kristen. That's a rebound now. Feels like slowly a change of the tide. Are Bristol going to put a run together here? Thomas Edwards hands it off to Jacob. Looks down low. Thomas Edwards now. This is a tough matchup as offensive foul is called. Beatty Osgood was on the baseline there. I don't think he was sure about that. I would have given a potential flop warning for that, because when you watch these two players match up against, look at the size and strength of Raf Thomas Edward. Holden already kind of knew in the back of his mind, am I going to be able to stop this guy getting to the basket? There's his 3 from earlier on.
I bet Brad Green is sick and tired of guarding guys on the perimeter today, because he is getting punished. Good stat line though for the big man, 11 and 16.
Double machine, Mr. Brad Green. Here is the Quincy Rideau. As we go under the 5-minute mark. Aaron Wright trying to fight for position against Jacob, and that is a foul. Great call there by Ed Yudansky. They were fighting it out for a little bit, but Jacob was being persistent. Foul called, 2 shots. We're going to have a quick break, though. 4 minutes 52 on the clock, 64-71. Things have turned around for the Cheshire Phoenix. Coach Kapoulis got to dig deep in his bag for this one. Got to find some ideas to deal with this Cheshire Phoenix run. 18-4 in this 4th quarter. Aaron Rye, chance to extend it even further to a 20-4 run. Joining me in the commentary booth today, Anthony Rowe. It's just been a magnificent turnaround for the Cheshire Phoenix in this 4th.
Yeah, it has, and Bristol, look, the game is later now, and I'm sure fatigue's setting in, but they have to get back to the things that they were doing well in this game. Full court pressure, creating turnovers into the Cheshire Phoenix and making them feel very uncomfortable. I mean,
Levi Bradley, that shot's pinged out. Long rebound.
remember, this was a Cheshire Phoenix team that, you know, had 33 points at half-time, and they certainly were not free-flowing offensively like they are now. So
They were 30 for 44 as well.
Yeah.
Skylar White, check the step back. Nodded off on that one. Jacob spins away from him. Great stand from Rideau. But the foul is called. I thought that was a brilliant stand. A blocking foul is called, and potentially 2 shots to come. And Rideau,
yeah, I agree. It's one of those ones, isn't it? I think if he falls over, you know, falls over, then it's an offensive foul.
yeah, I think he's there with well enough time.
Yeah.
I'm sure Ed Udansky will tell us a thing or two about why it was not.
Bristol really need Jacob, though. He's just doesn't look like his usual self. I think one of his superpowers is the ability to step up in big moments, and just hasn't been able to insert himself into this game today. Just his 4th point.
That's a 5th. Well, the thing for me is I find him an inconsistent player, because when he's hot, he's hot.
Yeah.
But he doesn't do it, you know, 3, 4, 5, 6 games in a row. Maybe a couple, then you'll be quiet for a couple of games, then one big game, then a quiet game, or, you know, I think that's what's holding him back. He's got to find that consistency. As Rye is fouled, no basket. Foul call on the floor. And the foul, I believe, will be called on Tevin Ollison. Oh no, the foul was actually called on Levi Bradley. And that's his 4th personal foul. So Ralph Thomas Edwards on 4, Tejon Lucas on 4, Levi Bradley on 4 fouls. Thin ice, right to the line because of the team foul trouble for the Bristol Flyers. He knocks down the first of those 2 as he slowly starts to add to his points tally. He's got 13 points, 9 rebounds.
I was going to let you get away with that one. Points tally? That's
Points-tality.
That's gonna be a
we're
new-
going to make that a word, Ro?
We could coin that one a new term.
Nice work there. Johnson to find Ollison, but once again the shot's way off. A little bit of 2-touch with the feet underneath the bucket, but into the hands of the Phoenix.
Just stone cold offense at the moment for Flyers. That's that drought that you never want to happen in the 4th quarter.
Well, this is the thing now. They slowed down the tempo of the game here, Cheshire. Into the hands of Rye. One-on-one with Jacob. He's going to go to work with him. Skip to the corner. Need a quick shot. Oh, and that's a foul on the floor before the chance to go up. So it should only be 2 shots here. The pump fake, and just absolutely clatters him. Tevin Ollison.
Goodness me.
Talk about taking him out. That's his first personal foul, Tevin Ollison. But Stevens on the line. This foul trouble mounting up.
Still a bad foul, isn't it? It's you jump out aggressively like that, you're always going to be susceptible to the foul, and especially when you're in the bonus.
Got to make it count though, right?
You do. God, that's a big 3 over in the far corner from E.J. Stevens, which seems like a long time ago, but that's just the beginning of the 4th quarter.
Well, this is a 16-point swing. Bristol Flyers were up by 6. Cheshire are up by 10. Kicked out. They need this 3. Can they get a point on the board here? Tevin Ollison stops the drought. 23 points for him now. We're getting to that point. We need to talk about player of the game. Let us know in the comments on Twitch, TikTok, and YouTube. You can also get involved with us on social media for those viewers watching in North America at British Basketball League or at British Basket M on X. Corner 3 now. Kristen Rye tips it in for 2. Aaron Rye.
Huge play from Aaron Rye there, popping up and putting that one back.
And that's his double-double. 16 points, 10 rebounds. Brad Green, he's got no choice but to shoot the 3. I can't imagine Coach Kapoulas would have been happy with that.
No.
Got to find a better opportunity to score the ball. I know it's a 10-point game, but there's plenty of time to get back into it, despite how you performed in the quarter. It has been a well and truly fourth quarter collapse for the Bristol Flyers. As Jacob comes up with the interception. You know what time it is. Oh, well, it's just a nice little easy layup to the right-hand side. We'll take that. That's good to go. 8 points the difference. But this is what I'm saying. If they hadn't wasted that last possession, that would have closed it back to a 6-point game. And the referee will just pause quickly. I think they just want to adjust the game clock to make sure it's correct with the action that we've had. There it is. Double-double watch, Aaron Wright. 16 points, 11 rebounds, Rowe.
Yeah, such a professional performance from him as well. He started off strong, a little bit quiet in the middle, but didn't force the issue. And I think that's what I respect most about a player like Aaron Wright. He understands what the team needs, and he doesn't shy away from when his name is called upon. Fourth quarter, he has been a massive piece of the puzzle here in this 25-point fourth quarter so far.
And the officials just trying to figure this one out. We will get that sorted, but don't forget, there's lots of basketball happening tomorrow here in the British Basketball League. If you've enjoyed this game, take a look right now on the screen and you can see that up first, Manchester Giants take on the Newcastle Eagles at 3 o'clock at the National Basketball Performance Centre. Back here in Bristol tomorrow, the Surrey Scorchers, who won today, will travel to Bristol, see if they can come out 2-0 in the double-header. Caledonia Gladiators host the Leicester Riders. That's a big, big matchup. 6 o'clock. Don't miss it. Live on the British Basketball League YouTube channel, Twitch and TikTok. What a weekend of fixtures here in the league. Rideau splits the defenders, driving all the way, kick to the corner. Aaron Wright take their time, run the clock. Wright one-on-one with Johnson, chopping it up with him, spinning to find a pass. Skylar White, they need somebody. Stevens, and the offensive rebound, kept it alive by Camp Christensen, out of bounds, eventually called.
Wow, the battle of the boards. Cheshire Phoenix did a stellar job. They've went out against the best rebounding club today in Bristol, but it's been Cheshire Phoenix that have been able to inflict their dominance. 50 to 40 in the battle of the boards in the favor of the Phoenix.
Headline possession, Flyers getting in. This is an important moment here for the Bristol Flyers. 1 minute 30 just gone on the clock. They need a score here, and we could be looking at a real close game. Jacob scoops up and under, and it's a Cheshire Phoenix ball. That's incredibly tough defense if the referee's call is true. And Trajan Jacob letting him know. What's that look here? Skylar White just getting some fingertips to it.
A lot of contact, isn't there?
Yeah.
A lot of contact.
Don't think there was any official in a good enough position to really see that right. As Aaron Wright brings the ball up the floor. Skylar White. And there's Johnson. He runs away because he thought he came up with a steal. Rideau, it bounces around. Rideau inside. Offensive foul call. And LaQuincy Rideau, that's his fourth personal foul. He runs to go and tell Ben Thomas about it. It's the block there against Skylar White, but let's see this. Look, it pops into his hand. He does what any coach would tell you to do, which is to get your shoulder to the opponent's chest. But I think Tevin Olliston's going backwards a little bit already, and it then is a very clear offensive foul.
Smart play, but what LaQuincy Rideau doesn't want to do, he doesn't want to compound it now with picking up a technical. So this team doing the right thing, they're just trying to settle him down, and all Cheshire Phoenix need to do now is just make intelligent decisions and see out this game.
I'm intrigued to see what Coach Kapoulis is saying in his timeout, because 55.1 seconds, you know, the way this game has swung to and fro, is very possible that the Bristol Flyers could close this gap and get it to a point where we say those mystical words of potential overtime. That's right, I said it, overtime. I'd love to see it between these two teams. I'm sure Cheshire Phoenix fans would argue otherwise. Bristol Flyers fans would take that any day. The neutral would take that any day also.
Let's get the ball in Aaron's hands here. Aaron, hold the fucking ball.
Oh, some tough words there. Apologies if you were offended by those words. But Aaron Rye needs to get the ball and hold it.
Well, he's been the guy that closes a lot of the games out. His ability to be able to hold on to the ball, but also he likes to take the bigger guys out on the perimeter. He's an intelligent player as well, makes the right decisions.
He's the man.
Ivy League graduate, so he's used to having to play within these sets and structures and high basketball IQ as well as academic IQ. The Dartmouth graduate.
Well, here we go. Inbound play for the Flyers. What can they muster? What have they got left in the tank? Lucas and one, and that's when he got in attack. Attack to the rack, draw the contact, put me on the line, referee. I need to make this a 3-point play and a 5-point game.
Great execution there, and Lucas has done an excellent job of going straight at Christian, which I felt like he wasn't trying to foul. His hands were straight up, and he was trying to move away from the contact, but there was contact there.
He misses. He gets his own rebound. And a foul is called again. Lucas goes to the line for 2 now.
Oh my goodness. Well, that's a cardinal sin. Always box out the shooter on a free throw. But Lucas was left wide open. And that could have very easily been a 3-point play to here.
Who didn't box him out? It's Kristen. He stood still.
Yeah.
And then he commits the foul afterwards.
Yeah.
He's made the first here now. Oh my goodness. Are we going to get our wish? Christmas was a long time ago, Ro. Whose birthday is it? Somebody, we got to give somebody a birthday present. Lucas, 2 for 2, 4-point game, 46.6 on the clock. Time out call. Vital moments for these coaches to talk it over. Wow. Let's just let it breathe. Let's just let it breathe, Anthony Rowe.
It's one of those games from the very tip-off. It just had that feel about it where there's so much more on the line. And, you know, when you think of the grand scheme of things and the wrestling for position in the league, you know, this is a pivotal game. And, of course, they played each other 4 times. So you always got that head-to-head. They've only played once before, so this game really does set the tone for the series to come.
But it also sets the tone for the Bristol Flyers Surrey Scorchers game tomorrow, right? Because what will happen is Surrey Scorchers, if they see Bristol lose here, then they have a chance to go one closer to catching up with them in the standings.
Get a stop, a quick 2 or a 3. Doesn't have to be a 3 ball. Okay, let's get a good one. And we need to stop right now. Okay, rebound the ball. Rebound the ball.
He was praying to the Lord for a rebound there, Andreas Capoulas, but very clear to him. 2-possession game, get a rebound, need a score. Let's get a stop. And more importantly, we don't have to shoot the 3. 46.6 is a long time. Hey, if they get a 3, that'd be great. But most important thing is putting the ball in the basket.
I like that message from him to re-emphasize it doesn't have to be a 3. Sometimes players get caught in the mindset that they're trying to chase the game and get down to it quickly. Remember, this is a Bristol team at 4 for 22 from the 3-point line. 18%. Dismal shooting night for them.
Right then, let's see how this all happens. Stevens, back to Rideau. They're going to run the clock as much as they can. The Cheshire Phoenix. Levi Bradley being forced by Capoulas. An out-of-bounds call by E.J. Stevens, but you can see Capoulas pushing over Bradley to try and double-team at the top there. And E.J. Stevens steps out of bounds, and he's going to go to the bench now. Ben Thomas will not be happy with him. Turning the ball over. Fair enough if you take a good shot.
That's a disappointing thing. That's a shot. It's an open shot there, and he doesn't take it.
And it's wide. It's way over the line as well. His whole half of the foot out of the play. Got to stay composed in that situation. The referee's having a quick discussion here.
I wish the referees were mic'd up. I'd like to know what's going on here.
I believe it is another scoreboard clock situation here, making sure it's correct. And hopefully we'll find out for you very shortly. We're discussing the decision here. Oh, it's going to be a Bristol Flyers ball on the sideline. I think there was a deflection, so we discussed it. Bristol Flyers get it back, 30.2 on the clock, 4-point game. And a timeout called now. Chance to draw something here for the Greek head coach, Andreas Kopoulas. Come on, give us what we want. Amro has got a long drive home today, but he doesn't mind if it's after a game like this.
Oh, of course not. Games like this, I want to last for eternity. This has been great to watch from start to finish. I think that the intensity and the level of desperation of both teams from the jump, it's been evident.
Let's see if we get a chance to listen in there. You can see our camera getting in position.
These are three goals now, okay? And then Tebo, you're coming straight away to screen here for DJ. And then you're going to that side. They will deny this, they will deny this. Levi, Flash, okay, space. T-Zone, come and get that hand off and look to take Tebo and downfield. If no, Levi, keep the hand off, pre-screening and attacking. Shoot it, shoot it, shoot it. Then you tell the coach, it's not clear for everyone. Do you know where you need to be? Let's get it quick, though. Have a 2 on the 3. We need a defensive stop.
Well, at home, is that clear enough for you? The Bristol Flyers players were nodding their head. I'm not sure I could nod my head at Coach Kopoulas after that, but what I got from that is that they're looking for a handoff action for Tejan Lucas to go downhill. If the handoff action is not successful in creating the gap for them to go downhill, then it's going to be a rescreen and there's going to be a space out after they draw the defenders for a kick. That's what I got at Rome.
No, and what I liked about that too, Coach Kopoulas has given them alternatives, okay? So sometimes you don't know how they're going to react. He predicts that the Cheshire Phoenix is going to try and take some things away. So if they do, then they execute as planned. But if they don't, there's alternatives there.
Well, here is Lucas. He is going to go downhill. He is going to kick to a shoot, and it's just deflected by Kristen. So he got the handoff there, as you saw, immediately turned, went towards the basket. Yeah, man, I understood what you said, Coach Kopoulas. Put me in, Coach. I'm executing. Right. Sideline ball in that odd position again. The Bristol Flyers have it. Bounce pass to Lucas. Between the legs, he's got to go here. He does go. It's a 2-point game. And another timeout call by Coach Ben Thomas. He'll want to talk it up. 21.2 on the clock. Tell a friend to tell a friend. They need to tune in right now. British Basketball League YouTube channel, Twitch, TikTok. If you're in Fubo, North America, tell your friends as well and your family. This is a ball game.
He does an excellent job here, and he shields the ball as well. You can tell Scarlet White does not want to foul here. Shielded the ball in that great extension with a left hand. He kisses it off the glass.
And just a kind of individual element there on the skill set required to go past the defender. If you saw his arm created leverage over Rideau's hip. Now, it would have been called a hooking foul if he continued to wrap his arm around, but all he simply did was move his arm over the hip of Rideau so that he could get through it. But let's take a look at this now.
Go away from the ball. Skyler, you're blocking here. Okay, get the ball into Skyler. Okay, two, fake handoff. Aaron, handoff between you and Skyler. Okay, hey, if they foul us, we'll want to use you at the line right now. Right, let's go. Let's go.
Right then. Testing this again, right?
They're inbounding the ball from half court. If they inbounded it from their own baseline, they would have a 24-second shot clock, which they could essentially run the clock out.
There's 21-2 on the clock.
Yeah, exactly. So inbound the ball from your own baseline, 24-second shot clock. They've decided to advance the ball. They're going to inbound it now from the half court, which then reduces their shot clock to 14.
I think the worry is with most coaches is if you inbound it in your own half court, then you're closer to your basket if they steal it for them to be able to score the ball.
I don't understand that. That you got the clocks on your side. You've got 24 seconds. You could just hold the, as long as you get it over.
Well, let's find out if Coach Ben is right. So he's trying to find Skylar White here. You can expect a fake handoff there. They're going to go handoff now with Aaron Wright potentially.
They don't have to foul. They don't have to foul.
Somehow, that's one way to get a handoff. Aaron Wright, they get it inside. Rideau, is he going to kind of get a shot here? Yes, he is. What's happened? What's the call?
It's too late. It's too late. It's after the shot clock.
What is the call here?
Shot clock violation.
Shot clock violation is the call.
You inbound the ball at half court, you could just get 14 seconds on the shot clock.
They could not get the look that they wanted. They were running out of ideas. Now here's Bristol's chance. Are they going to win it? Are they going to go to overtime? Bradley for the win! No! And a rebound for Rye as Cheshire Phoenix escaped the Wise Arena with the victory. The streak continues. 9-0. Cheshire Phoenix are 9-0 since their trophy campaign. What an incredible finish to this game. You can't help but think Bristol Flyers had an opportunity there to win the game. Kapoulis is speaking to the referees right now, talking to Ed Yudansky. He wants to have a conversation about that shot over there. Levi Bradley, the chance to win, unable to get it to go. What a wonderful finish to this game. It turned on its head at the end of the third quarter. 22-6 run for the Cheshire Phoenix at the beginning of this quarter. It finished 16-25, but the Cheshire Phoenix take the victory. My oh my, what a ball game, Anthony Rowe.
Wow. I think we all need to check our calendars. When is game 3? Because I'm already locked in. That was incredible. And I think there was some admirable mentions, but player of the game, Cam Christian. He was the guy that popped his team on his shoulders for a period of the game because he got support from his teammates, but there was a period of the game that Cheshire really looked out of sorts, and it was Cam Christian who put his hand up and was asked to be that guy, and he took them to that level.
And you have to argue with that. Maybe on the stat sheets it's a completely different rating in the index score, but it was at the beginning of the game that he was the guy to make sure that they were even within touching distance, so guys like Skylar White and Aaron Wright could then go ahead and seal the victory. Aaron Wright, honorable mention, with 16 points, 11 rebounds to his name. You know, Rideau, he had 9 points, 9 rebounds, 3 steals, 4 assists. Skylar White, 15 points, 4 for 10 from downtown. But you're right, it was Cam Christian. Without his performance today, they wouldn't have even been in that position to close this game out.
Wow, unbelievable. And Cam Christian, the thing that he was so good at as well was just his intent. It was that, I don't care what everyone else is doing, I'm the one here that's gonna grab this game by the scruff of its neck.
I guess the word here is gutsy.
Yes,
a real
yes,
gutsy
yes.
performance. Dig deep, things aren't going our way. We've got to pull something out of nowhere, and he did exactly that. Let's take a look at the full-time stats. Look at Kapoulis acknowledging Cam Christian's game. Let's take a look at how that all unfolded. Wow. 11 for 37 from behind the arc. Anthony Rowe.
Well, and it was unfortunate for Bristol Flyers, right? They clawed their way back into this game, and it's ironic that the last shot of the game was a 3-pointer. They were 4 for 23. It's really hard to win a professional basketball game if you only scored 4 3-pointers. You know, you're up against the Cheshire Phoenix that are always going to put points on the board. They were well below their averages today, by the way. They averaged 92 points per game. So Bristol did an excellent job at playing defense, creating turnovers, 18 turnovers for the Cheshire Phoenix. But it was the rebounds for me. The battle of the boards was dominated by the winning team. Cheshire Phoenix made a collective commitment to winning the battle of the boards.
Well, that was an incredible game, but the weekend is not over. Let's take a reflection on how we've got to this point, with Lions taking the first victory of the weekend, Riders winning against the Plymouth City Patriots, Newcastle Eagles defeating the Gladiators, Surrey getting a 1-point victory over the Patriots, the Bristol Flyers falling at home against the Cheshire Phoenix. Things are working in Surrey Scorchers' favour as they head to the Bristol Flyers Wise Arena at 4:30 p.m. tomorrow. That's a huge game in the standings. Before that, though, Manchester Giants take on the Newcastle Eagles, and Sheffield Sharks host the London Lions at 3 o'clock, and the Caledonia Gladiators will face off against the Leicester Riders. It was an incredible game the last time they met. There are the standings. Cheshire Phoenix firmly in second. Bristol Flyers, they're teetering on the edge right there, as tomorrow's game is a vital component in deciding how these standings will go in the weeks to come. Well, thank you very much for joining us. It was a superb game. It started off a little bit sketchy. There were a lot of misplays, low scoring. It was entertaining nonetheless. But, Ro, these two teams slowly brought things together and provided yet another spectacle here in the British Basketball League.
They really did, and I'm really excited to see the future encounters between these two organisations as well. I thought this was a legitimate win, and I mean legitimate in the way that Cheshire Phoenix is a road win against a very tough outfit. It's really difficult to collect wins on, down in Bristol, and Cheshire Phoenix have gone through the high of winning the trophy. They're able to benefit from it as well. This is their 9th win in a row. What it is to be a Cheshire Phoenix fan right now. What a time.
What a time it is indeed. The British Basketball League is in full flow. Make sure you join us tomorrow here live on the British Basketball League YouTube channel, Twitch, and on TikTok, or wherever you're watching all around the world. My name's Ty Hajat, alongside Anthony Rowe. We'll see you next time.